Oh my gosh, it is hot as Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, I'm Mend. We're not going to talk about what I'm just about to point out. Maybe none of you noticed it, maybe everyone of you noticed it. I have such bad sunglasses. I have no one to blame but myself, really, to be honest. But we've had an unreal... What is going on here? We have had an unreal heat wave here in Ireland, and this week is finally like the coolest week here yet that we've had, which is saying a lot because we've had it was up to nearly 30 odd degrees. Actually, it was up to 30 odd degrees. Say hello to Jackie. Jackie's coming to hang out with us as well. But today I'm not here to sit and talk about the weather. I thought, why not do it outside? The sun is just doing its thing, so we're going to roll with it, and I'm going to make full use of the cooler weather so I can record outside, because the last 2 weeks have been like Satan's behind. It's been a whole freaking thing. But today I have been wanting to do this tag with the longest of time, so big shout out to Nicki T, and I'll make sure to tag her channel below. Do go check her out. But she made an amazing tag about, I think, like 2 months ago. I'm so sorry, Nicki. Life has just been lifing, and there's so much. I have no excuses, but I'm getting around to it now, and I'm so glad that this tag is popping off, because Nicki deserves it. She's just an absolute gem in the community. So if you haven't subscribed to her, go. Don't be, well, after you watch this, obviously, and then go subscribe to her, but make sure to go check her original video out. And it's the Tarot Connection tag, which is really cool. So she explores why I choose to engage with tarot over other hobbies and consuming social media / technology. This video is here to bring us back to why we chose tarot and encourage reflection in wake of the ever-growing noise of social media. Yes, please. So this is going to be kind of really chill, chit-chatty, sit down, kind of get to know me style video. So if that's your jam, please sit down, get comfy cozy, get your own cozy mug, prop me up and hear me chat if you prefer to do that while you craft. Maybe pull some cards, maybe you're journaling, maybe you're doing housework, maybe it's cooler in your house and you can do housework. More power to you. I mean, I have laundry. I'm not even going to subject you to it, but I have an amount of laundry outside. I've turned into that Irish mammy where I'm like, oh, there's great drying outside, I need to go do all the laundry. I mean, I'm surprised I haven't even pulled the curtains out of every room to wash them just to make full use of the drying. But we're not doing that. What we're doing today is we're going to sit down, excuse me, allergies. This is great weather, but honestly, I never used to suffer with hay fever until the last couple of years, where pollen has now just become a thing. But I'm surrounded by all my beautiful flowers here in front of me, and it's stunning. So I am enjoying it and watching all my flowers bloom and grow. We're not talking about that, Mend. Focus. I am so sorry. I'm really excited. I feel like it's been forever since I've sat down and recorded and chatted with you guys like this. In the comments, yes, but sit down, I haven't been able to because it's just been too damn hot. So there's 6 prompts. We're going to get into it. It's going to be really, like I said, relaxed, chilled. I'm in my comfy cozy moon chair, and we're going to get straight into it. And I just realized the last time we had a sunny day, I actually wore this same outfit. I promise I have more clothes. These are just the coolest. I think I have more winter clothes, autumn clothes than I do summer, because we don't get this often, and I wasn't prepared. So, excuse me, allergies. Anyway, can you hear the birds and stuff? Our cuckoo is gone. I don't know where it's gone, which is probably okay too, because he was getting a bit tedious. But it's okay. I know he was getting tedious, and now I'm kind of like, he's gone and I miss him. Anyway, they can't win around here. So prompt number 1 is, how did you first connect with tarot? Who or what influenced this connection? So if you're new here, because I've had actually quite a few new subscribers, hello, welcome to the absolute chaos at its finest. I first connected with tarot originally through Oracle first. I did like angel cards and oracle before I got into tarot. I was terrified of tarot. I really was absolutely petrified. I think like the deck card was just a big thing. I was like, oh my gosh. And then the tarot card. So that was kind of really, I'm trying to think, when did I first start getting into oracle card? I think it was in my late teens. I've always been into this kind of stuff. I've always loved the kind of spiritual aspect, witchy, esoteric, occultism, all that kind of stuff, since I was like super young anyway. But it wasn't until my late teens that I really got into oracle cards, and then life happens and I kind of fell out of it for a small bit. I think that seems to be the norm for most people. But I didn't have any aunties or moms or like grandmothers or anything like that like were into tarot or anything like that. It was something that I just kind of fell into. It was really TarotTube that helped push me to go and just buy the damn deck, because if you're going to wait for somebody else to do it, you're going to be waiting forever. I know my mom gifted me a tarot deck that she had, but I think it was one of these ones that you kind of pick up super cheap, and I think it was Pip style. I still have it, but I couldn't read it, and I was like, I don't get it. Like, tarot was something I really had to work really hard at, but it wasn't until we were kind of all, you know, caught up in our house that I was like, right, I'm going to really take this. Now, I've been reading tarot with the little book for years in my early 20s, but it wasn't until, like, you know, we were all stuck inside our house that it really skyrocketed for me. So that was 2020. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm at now. But I've been reading cards for like 10 plus years now. Oh my gosh. Longer. I can't do the math. No. About 15 odd years. Oh my gosh. But Oracle, excuse me, would be my first love, if I'm being honest. And who or what influenced me? It was really the TarotTube community that helped me kind of dive into it further and not be so afraid of it. Because like I said, it was YouTube that really helped navigate that whole interest in tarot. But I've always had an interest, but I was always kind of slightly terrified. But there's nobody actually close to me or around me that is into this. I'm pretty much the only one here that does that. Which that's not a bad thing. That's cool. So I can pave the way for, you know, whether my niece be into it or whatever may be the case. So number 2 is, how does tarot help you connect with the physical world? I thought that was such a great question. I feel like tarot helps bring me back into the present moment. I am a huge believer in trying to be as present as I possibly can in my everyday life. Hence why I'm always trying to find glimmers or keep an eye out for glimmers and really be present, because I can be very caught up in my own head and I can get very anxious about, you know, everything else down the line. Or I'm pretty sure a lot of you can relate, but I'm always thinking of the next thing on my to-do list as I'm doing something. So I could be, for example, you know, recording this video, for example, right? And then I'm thinking, oh, right, I need to do the laundry. And then I'm like, right, and then I need to, you know, answer that message. And then I also need to, you know, cook some lunch. And then I also need to, and then it's constant. So I'm always worrying about the next step, but never being fully present in the step that I'm in. So I love my practice in the morning because it helps me just to come back into myself and allows me, well, you're allowed to at any stage, but it allows me to open that space to just be present in that moment, to get guidance for the day ahead, maybe certain things that I might need to keep an eye out for, or some type of message that I need to be mindful of. And so it helps me to really just ground and be present where I am right now, and not worrying about, you know, I mean, yeah, you can use tarot as like for foretelling or anything like that, but it's not really how I would personally use it for myself. Maybe to help see the possible outcome, but for the most part it helps me to remember that, say if you're going through a certain difficult moment, that you're able to get through that moment and you're able to move past it, right? And it's also maybe being mindful of certain energetics. So I work very energetically, very intuitively, so it's being mindful of that as well that's coming up. And yeah, it just really helps me, in a nutshell, in a long roundabout way, it really helps me ground, because I need to ground. I'm very much a Pisces, like through and through. My chart is very water and air. There's very little earth elements in my chart, so tarot can help really ground me into that center energy, that connected to the earth that I need, because sometimes I can be very dreamy and very floaty and like all ooh. So why did you choose tarot over other hobbies, and do you have any other hobbies that complement the tarot? And yes, so why did I choose tarot over other hobbies? I don't know, did I choose tarot, did tarot choose me, if I'm being honest? I feel like in one way that I was kind of dipping my toes into tarot, and then it just grabbed my ankles and it pulled me in, and it was like, yeah, you're stuck in this now for life, and you're gonna love all the decks and you're gonna want all the stuff. And but it's more than that, right? You're going to want to know all the knowledge, and you're going to want to continue to learn and continue to deep dive and to connect and explore. And what other words are coming to mind? There's a lot, right? There's so much to tarot and how you can approach it. And I find that so interesting with tarot tube here is everybody takes either similar approaches or completely different approaches, and I love it. I definitely probably take a different approach to everybody else, or to others, not everybody else, but to others. So why did I choose that as a hobby is because it's really right up my alley. I love divination. I love any forms of divination. As a kid, my dad gave me homemade dowsing rods, but he was using dowsing rods to find water. And so as kids, we were like so excited to use these like homemade now, if I don't know if you know what dowsing rods are, but they're basically two L shape, but the L will say here goes like this. It's like a little handle, and then you have like two rods, and then they cross over if they come across water, right? So normally they're used for finding water points and whatnot, but yeah, that's what my dad was using it for. And so I remember as a kid using them, and they'd cross over straight away. Like I'm pretty knacky, to be fair, at using either pendulums or dowsing rods. And then like my brothers were okay, and then my mom, it just wouldn't work for her at all. And just no way, they were just going every which way. It was really funny. It was very, very funny. So divination has always kind of been really something that like holds my interest, and that's what I loved about tarot, is it has always continuously held my interest. And oracle, I want to include oracle in this as well, because again, it is something that I have a lot of love for, and I love getting lost, because it's not just about finding messages, it's about like reading the guidebook and learning stuff. It's one thing that I've mentioned several times, it irks me when you're learning. And I know where they're coming from, because they want you to use your intuition. But when somebody says, oh, throw away the guidebook, you don't need it, your intuition is enough. No, I agree. But I also disagree, because there's so much in a guidebook as well sometimes that can be so extremely helpful to expand on your knowledge and to add to your book of knowledge, that when you are doing intuitive readings, you have this kind of different, beautiful, eclectic mix of juicy goodness from guidebooks and your own experience that you can add to a reading, right? And so I just have always loved that. And of course I love the art style, and I love shuffling the cards, and I love like that, reading the book, smelling the cards. It's a thing. My brothers are like, you're so weird for sniffing books. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Some books just smell incredibly delicious, and you need to. But it is the one thing that has just always held my love. I never get bored of it. And what I love about it is I don't feel that sense of overwhelm if I take a bit of time and I come back to it. So, and to add into that, and do I have other hobbies that complement the tarot? Yes, I journal. So I'm one of those that either makes journals, buy journals. I'm that one that's trying to make everything aesthetic. I've learned to kind of let that go. My aesthetic changes, and my hair is driving me absolutely nuts. And I'm kind of trying to find my own style. I love to junk journal, which I find ties lovely into, you know, tarot and oracle. If you want to do a deep dive, which I've been wanting to do, I have it set up. I'm currently in a rings system. If you're interested in that, then let me know, and I will happily show you my different journals and what I'm working with at this moment in time. But yeah, they're kind of the hobbies that really complement each other, is my junk journaling or journaling. Yeah, I'll just say journaling, because I also make journals as well that I like to use with decks. I've made a lovely Alice in Wonderland junk journal and I've yet to dive into it. We're not even going to talk about it. But yeah, those two. I'm reading then, of course, like I'm a big reader. Like I genuinely get through fiction quicker than I do non-fiction. Non-fiction takes a bit of time because I always feel like I need to take my time and I need to process it, whereas fiction, like I can just soak up the information, go on to the next book if it's a series and whatnot. Whereas like non-fiction, I'm kind of like, I want to store that information. So number 4, what have you learned / gained from tarot that a computer cannot replicate? Intuition. I don't feel that computers can really replicate your intuitive sense, what you feel, maybe how you hear it, how you see it, how you experience it. That's probably feel as well. Maybe you're really into your clear senses, like you can taste or smell things, or it might bring you back and you're able to experience the whole situation again. So I really do think that tarot has been able to open me up spiritually in a way that a computer could never replicate, right? As in, like, even, did I say spiritually? Oh, brain, hello. But even the connection with my own guides. So I take a very I don't want to use woo-woo, but a very spiritual approach to my practice. I know a lot of people take a lot more logical and analytical, and you're able to really take that, the left side of the brain, isn't it? It's the more, whichever side is the analytic, because I think it's the right side actually, sorry. Whereas I'm a pure Pisces. I'm very like intuitive, and I don't want too much structure, but a little bit of structure. I like to let things flow, and computers they're not able to replicate that, as far as I'm concerned anyway. I don't think, nor do I believe, that computers or technology in that sense can replicate a feeling, right? So you might be able to see a deck and you might get a sense, but when you have that deck in your hand and you're looking through the cards, or you're looking through the guidebook, or even just handling the box and just opening it, a computer cannot replicate that. I know I do walk through Wednesdays, right? And I think they're a great way to show you decks that are either coming out or new to me, or new in my, or old in my collection that I want to show to you guys. But it doesn't, I can only explain so much. How you're going to experience it is going to be completely different. And I don't think a computer or a screen can really help you feel that. You might get a sense of how you feel about a deck, but until it's in your hands physically, that's the thing. I don't think physically a computer can replicate how tarot feels. So between like shuffling the cards and laying them out, and it's like you can make a whole ritual and an experience, and I don't think a computer can help you get that feeling, right? I mean, yes, Zoom is totally handy, or video calls, that's a great way to, because it's a great way to connect people. I do think there's pros and cons for it, but as in that moment, in the present moment where you are right now, I don't think a computer can really replicate feeling. That's where I'm sticking with that one, feeling. And what have I gained from tarot as well? Just even the spiritual knowledge, the way I'm able to connect with angels and my ancestors and spirit guides. I mean, I do think a computer can help you, point you in the direction of learning the steps, or maybe finding somebody that can help you learn the steps, but it can't give you the experience that you would gain from doing it yourself. Number 5. So, what has tarot helped you navigate? How has tarot helped you navigate life's challenges and everyday problems? I think that would really refer back to what I answered in number 2, and I would say it has I suppose in one way help me keep grounded, so I'm not deciding things right off the bat, although I wouldn't, because I'm probably an overthinker. So maybe it helps me decide a little bit quicker as well. There's no rush with tarot, I have to say, but it's definitely a sense of reminding me to take my time if I need to take my time, or kind of going, hey, snap out of this stagnant moment. You're kind of delaying the inevitable, so you might as well make a decision. And it's also helped me to remember I had something there and it's gone out of my head. Oh my gosh, I hate when that happens. I have to look at the question again, hopefully it'll trigger. To just be present, but it definitely helps me keep like a mindful mind, and it also reminds me as well, in not just any way, that it's not permanent. So it teaches me a lot of things about myself and how maybe I view things, or how I can change my view on things. I hope that makes sense. And number 6 is, how would you describe your connection with the tarot? And these are great prompts, and I don't mean to fly through, but I like to give kind of handy snippets. And how would I describe my connection with the tarot? I would say it's very much an intuitive approach. So I learned the Rider-Waite-Smith system. I want to dip my toes into thought and look into Marseille, and there's a whole load of other ones that I'm probably forgetting right now. But Rider-Waite-Smith seems to be the system that I'm most drawn to, even though I'm not a big fan of the original artwork. I'm not trying to offend anyone here. I'm just not. I have the Radiant the Radiant RWS deck. It was fine. I used it to learn, but I prefer more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not replicas. Clones. Or decks that have very similar art style to the RWS. So, where was I going with this? Train of thought just went with the plane right there. It just went, gone. But it is very intuitive. So while I definitely understand the system and the structure and the meanings of the cards, even if some of the cards still to this day sometimes stump me, and I've been reading tarot for quite some time, I definitely look at cards sometimes and I'm like, what? How does that even fit in right now? But then I read the guidebook and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense now. So sometimes it helps like to kickstart my intuition. So that's normal. I just want to make that very clear. It's normal sometimes if your intuition doesn't kick in straight away. But, you know, doubt and the ego can come in as well. But I definitely feel that my connection with tarot is very intuitive based. It's very spiritual. It's very sacred to me. It's not something that I just announce to everyone like, hey, listen, I read tarot and oracle, want a card. I'm really not that person. Anybody wants reading? Absolutely, I'm so more than happy, but I'm quite shy about it. I don't know why, because I would love to talk about it all the time. I have no problem sitting here and talking about it, but the minute somebody finds out and they ask me 110 questions, I know some people are just curious, but I get overwhelmed and I'm like, could you stop asking me 110 questions? I'm not some mystical creature, like, or one of a kind. There's lots of us out there. You just happen to nab one. But yeah, my connection with it would be very spiritual and in awe and deeply intuitive and really grounding as well, but also very we went up there as well. So thank you so much to Nicki for creating such a fun tag. I really enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed this and that my answers made some form of sense. This heat is just I think making a little bit mush of my thought processes and how I'm trying to formulate words. So thank you again to Nicki. Excuse me. And I'm so sorry it took me so long to get around to it. And if you stuck around to the end, let me know if you've done a VR or if there's any questions that you wanted to answer. and you want to share, please share them below in the comments. I'd love to hear. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And I hope if you're in either Ireland or the UK or wherever we're getting heat wave, that you're staying cool, hydrated, and calm, collected, because I know sometimes some of us can get a bit cranky in this heat. Not me so much, but I know not everyone agrees with the heat. But yes, thank you so much again. Make sure to check out Nicki's video, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys.